Hey, this is Max with another release notes update. For release number 17, we are proud to announce we've just released the Shifts Planner. We still put a beta sticker on it. There's still some features missing before we're really proud to say, come check out our Shift Planner. But it's here and it's ready for you to use. If you're a Proxuma customer, it's just going to be the third tab here, and it will work beautifully with your existing Proxuma setup. So just real quick, instead of planning from the perspective of a customer and then their projects for the projects module, or from the perspective of your engineers, you're now going to be planning from the perspective of the shift itself. So the way it works, you do plus and then you create a shift schedule. So you give it a certain recurrence and a start and end time and date. And then there's a whole bunch of clever stuff to do with rotation, skills, intensity. That's really meant for later for an automated planner, an AI planner. And a lot of it is also for yourself to have a clever planning ahead of intensity and stuff to do with labor laws, like is this an on-call shift or a real shift. But the beauty is your Autotask won't have a shifts planner, and you're probably already solving this if you're using shifts with maybe Microsoft Teams. The beauty of this one is our shifts integrate with Outlook, and they show up as a thin bar in your capacity. So, in your resource planner. So you can tell it what capacity impact it has, and so then you'll see your capacity view. Okay, this person's overbooked, right? So here, this person has a shift that's 100%, but then also some tasks and tickets, so definitely overbooked. So you can have an on-call shift and tell it, well, look, on-call takes some labor, but we still should be able to do a service call here or there for a project or a ticket, so 50%, right? Something like that. And the Outlook invite that it sends, yeah, so here we have a morning shift. It can still have a Teams meeting or a physical location in the location field if you want. So you can say this shift is, in the office, let's say, right? If you want. And so that means that even for the work where you can't pre-assign a task or ticket, you can now reserve calendar in the engineer's calendar. And you can also see it while planning a project. If you open a task and you want to reveal the calendar, you now can also see that they have a shift going on. So it really completes Proxuma in that sense. Now I've got a full shift planner tutorial up for you in the knowledge base. So just click on support here, and that'll take you through exactly how to set up a shift, what each of these things mean, and then also check out the bucket, how to then plan a shift out to get to full occupancy of each shift. And how to get the recurrence going, all of that. Now, there's still some features coming up, a lot to do with how to just copy paste, how to get a lot more planning going on without doing individual drag and drops from a bucket. But for that, stay tuned. All right, so that's the shift planner. But we've released some more cool stuff. So this is really important for people who want to get comfortable with planning service calls on project tasks, but who don't necessarily know which resource they're going to apply. A lot of you have this, you have a template, you set up a project. That template does have the estimated hours, but it doesn't have the associated resources. So then you can't make use of our nice resource row feature where you see the whole calendar of the resources involved. But now you can. So for demonstration purposes, I've got this task here, which doesn't have a resource associated with it. As you can see, you can't open it. But I can now do a right-click, show all project resources. What that's going to do is going to reveal the calendar of all the primary or secondary resources on any task in the project. I'm going to click on the week here. So this task here, I can see it. It's Thursday and Friday, and it has 10 estimated hours. But who's going to do it? Well, show all project resources. I now open the calendar of everyone who is either a secondary or primary resource on any of the tasks in the project. So when you're starting out with a project, before our advice was, just have everyone who can do anything on the project be a secondary resource, and have a primary resource for each task coming out of the gate. Now you don't have to do that anymore. Now you can just go top to bottom, and as long as you have like a placeholder task that has all resources on it, who are any kind of resource on the project, you can now do the service call planning, double click add service call for anyone, task by task. A lot more convenient. As an added functionality, and let me get myself out of the way here, you can do, like, let's say this task, it only has Walter White as a resource. I can then do add resource, and that will do anyone who has a Proxuma license. So it'll be even more broad if you want. Okay. Now, and also a very much requested feature is this one. People really wanted to make this column wider. Well, now you can. It's going to be persistent. It's going to remember what you did. So if you make it just as wide as possible, it'll always be as wide as possible. Even if you do a reset view, and I just wanted to highlight this. I know it's from previous release, but what reset view does, it reloads the view that you had. So if you, let's say you do like detailed, and now you have all the columns, but you want to go back to your favorite way of viewing things, that's what it does. It just reactivates the view. By the way, the thing I just showed you, if you have this, what I just did was assign Bruce by a service call. That is also going to make him the primary resource on a task, if the task didn't already have a primary resource. Okay, so you can fill in primary resources really quickly this way. Yeah, we have sort on the bucket, and there's new options added to this. So if you're a dispatcher, very much check out the new sorting options that we have. New auto task fields. And then see if you want to add that to your workflows, your views. I don't know if you knew about the mini bucket. That's this. It now has a multiple events, which means a service call with tasks and tickets. And of course, you're going to find shifts here, if there is a shift. Additional attendee field enhancements. So this is also not a minor thing. When creating a service call, you of course have this Outlook field, but now the additional attendee is not just type an email address. It is fetching contacts from Autotask. So let me maybe find this one perhaps. Yeah, see, this one is fetching contacts that are assigned in Autotask to this company by IT. Okay, so it's very easy now to invite your customers, and even if you don't find them, then you can still type in the email address. So that's now working really as we intended as well, and that's the main theme of this release, is getting Proxuma to finally work as we envisioned it. Shifts being the major plugger for all of that other work that you couldn't pre-assign a ticket or task to complete capacity view. And Shift Planner is free, but you're probably going to now have the whole service desk in here instead of just level 2 and 3 who do only planned work. And whereas before you might plug in, a shift with Outlook or a time request, which, by the way, time requests are now, I don't know if you knew this, is from last release, they are now connected to Outlook as well. So you can do a generic Outlook invite from here. But now you can have it with the shifts as well. And there wasn't really a good shift planner solution for many MSPs. They just used Teams shift planner. Hopefully we can fully replace it for you in terms of convenience and functionality. And of course now it talks to Outlook. So it's really making everything complete. The projects column, that was really necessary, along with the show all project resources. Hope you like the release. Let me know if you have any questions. And be sure to check out the support tab for all the release notes. Thank you very much.